thing is slinging oil everywhere. But it looks nice. The next operation that we need to do now is to cut the reliefs right in the bottom of these grooves here. You can see the detail here. So I have the part mounted at a 45. I got my woodruff cutter in there to cut the relief along the y-axis, and I'll show you how we did it. We got our 45 block, and we put it right on there. We put it backing the piece, set it against the triangle, and clamped it in. So we're ready to go. Check and see how we're doing. So what I did now is I raised my knee up 32 thousandths. And that's really the difference between a 3/32 and a 1/8 thick slot that we're putting in here. So now using my 45 triangle, I have the vise cleaned out real well. I'm just making double sure there's no chips anywhere. Got the triangle registering flat against the bottom. There we go. Yeah, all gaps are closed now. Now I'm going to bring my knee back down to 0, a little bit past 0, and then I'll climb back up to it. Alright, so we're going to mill in until we hit 1/16 depth. Measuring on the small leg of this. Alright, it's a finishing cut now. A lot of oil, slow speed, sharp cutter. We're on a good relief groove. I like that. Next thing we're going to do is mill out the little V slots in here. looks pretty good. Alright, well the V-grooves are now done being milled. I think they came out real good. Nice and even. Alright, that's going to work out good. You know, they look just like the other ones now, you know, compared to my other vices. So, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to mill out this, you know, this clearance here. We have a hole to drill. And then we have to use the ball end mill to mill out this concave portion where the hemispherical washer is going to sit. So let's set up and we'll get that done now. Now looking at the plan, when we mill our slot down, we need to leave 440 thousandths from the bottom of the slot to the face where the hemispherical washer is going to go. So I have my roughing end mill here, and I'm going to just make contact with the bottom of this parallel, which is the face that the hemispherical washer is going to be on, and I'm going to calculate up 440 thousandths plus another 20, because this is a roughing end mill, so I want to leave a little bit for my finishing cut. We got the mill set at about 640 now. Now the drawing doesn't have any dimension on how far to come over on the slot. So, you know, thank God I got these other ones as a reference. You can see the slot comes, it breaks through the V-groove here, and on this one it's just shy of the V-groove. So we're going to start with coming right up to the V-groove. And we'll see if that will do it. We're increasing the depth of cut now to 200 thousandths because it's cutting real nice. cleaning the piece off now. We're down to our depth, at least from a rough perspective. Just trying to clean up some chips out of here. I got a 1/2 inch end mill loaded up, and what we're going to do now is bring this to final spec. Now, when I hit my 0 point on the DRO, you know, with the x-axis, I'm going to go 20 thousandths past that. I'm hoping that this will take the full slot, so I'm just going very slow. Looks like it's doing a good job. Alright, just to be safe, I'm going to go in a little tiny bit more. I just want to plunge down a little tiny bit more, just so I know I have more room. I'm just shaving it basically. So here's the part up to now. We got our V-grooves cut in place, we got all our chamfers on it, we got a pretty decent finish set up for grinding, we got our recess. Last operation really is just going to be to drill the through hole through here and then put the little concave cove in there for the hemispherical washer. So I'm really happy how it's turning out. I removed the end mill. You don't want to be maneuvering around with an end mill in there. Good way to get hurt. And I just I like to wipe these end mills down and get the packed chips out of them. A little oil on it is fine, but I don't like storing my end mills away with a lot of, you know, junk and chips in there. Takes a second. So I have my piece in here now. Parallels are all cleaned off. Everything is good. We have our little triangle 45 gauge here, which is resting on the parallel. So I'm just really holding it in place. I want to block the camera view here. And then I'm just going like this. I'm just resting it right against there and tightening it down. It's a simple drilling procedure. Not a lot of force. So we have our our y-axis 0 point still set from the previous step. There's no dimension on the drawing that shows which way along the x-axis this hole is. But looking at my other Vise jaws, they all look pretty much centered. I mean, this guy is pretty much in the center. This one sits proud. It sits a little high, but I have another jaw where it's right in the center as well. And feeling back here where the clearance is, I think we're good. So we're 11/16 is halfway. I just sighted it with my ruler. Right, 8. That looks to be about good. Not a critical number here. So let's drill. I got plenty of clearance this way. nibbling away a little bit. I don't want to break through too hard. Okay, that looks good. Now all we have to do is do our cutout for our hemispherical washer, and then we'll be done. Alright, we got our ball end mill installed. I've touched off. I've set my stop. Now the depth that we're going to raise the knee is going to be 305 thousandths. The drawing calls for, just make double sure, 305 thousandths. So we're going to, being that this is a form tool, I'm running it very slow in back gear. I'm going to start off with it being this slow, and we'll see how that works out. So let me set my knee to 0. Bring our stop down. All right, let's get it on. There's 100. Oil, because it's a form tool. There's 200. Nice and slow. 50. Really oiling this up now. There's 300. And 5. All right. And that is all she wrote. That looks good. We have a nice crisp edge. Thank you, Randy Richard. Handcrafted by Randy Richard. Got this at the Summer Bash. My buddy. Alright, let's take this out and take a look. See how it looks. Alright, well the part is done. I think it came out good. Looks good. Everything's made to spec. Left enough meat on the bone for Stan to grind it into place, so I'm looking forward to seeing how it's all gonna shake out when it's done. So